So we're gonna paint this a little house with the mountain in the background in the sky and some catch the shadow on the snow. This is only a photo reference. We don't have to stick to exactly make it look like that. So the first thing, we need the house. So I'm gonna put the house over here. This is the house. I don't have to draw the detail yet. So this is the house, right over here, right? That's the house, something like that. You can spend more time and change it to the way you want it. So anyway, we might change it again. So I want the snow coming up over here. I don't want the snow flat. Maybe the snow coming up like this. Or you can make a snowman over here if you want. It's totally up to you, right? So the snow coming up over here and coming down like this. So have a little bit, not straight, not really flat. Now over here also coming over here. And now on this side, and the snow coming up again like this, a little bit up like that. And maybe this side down a little bit like that. Okay, so this is the ground look like. And I want, looks like it's something, the hill over here is some snow and going through over here and coming to on this side, coming down like this. It's not flat. So this is a mountain in the back. I don't want the top over here so tight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it, make it a little bit, the mountain a little bit higher. Can you do that? Okay, coming up like this. So I leave a little bit more gap in between, okay? And you can make it even a little bit more like this. And on the back over here, have a little mountain in the back over there. So I'm gonna have it coming down like this, right? Are you with me? Like that. So you feel free to change things if you want. Oh, good. Now have a little, that's a little bit lighter. This is actually, the front over here is flat. But is there anybody live in the house? It should be some people live in the house, right? So I'm gonna have a little pad over here and have some footprint and coming in like this. Like a walking toward the house, right? It doesn't look like any door in the house. Okay, we make a little door on the side over here. How about that? A small, tiny house. Okay, so just a little door like that. It's no chimney, but you can add a chimney if you want. Okay, that kind of thing. You have a reference, but you want to change it. It's totally up to you. Now we want to add. This side, I'm not going to add much. So there's lots of small dry tree on this side. But I don't want to add that much. I'm going to add, say, a couple tree over here. And that's it. Not too much. Okay? But over here, I'm going to keep that some tree coming up here. Ooh, this is really tall. I don't want a tall tree. So I'm going to do, what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to just have the tree like this. A little dry tree over here, and maybe one is taller. It's coming up like this all the way to the top. Okay, one a little bit not so tall. Those are all ideas. You can feel free to get your own input, however you want. And on the snow, there's some blue color, which is catch the shadow. Okay, coming through like this, and you can feel free to have the catch the shadow going the way you want it. Okay, like that. Okay, this area is darker, so that make the top of the house stand out, because dark color versus the light color, it create impact. Those is very easy to understand. I know how to do it. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wash into the background. Now I'm gonna use the big brush. This is why you need a big brush. Do you know why? Because you can cover the areas faster. I'm gonna take the color out over here. I'm gonna take a little bit more blue. Now you have to thinking about how dark the color you want. Okay, if you get more color, less water, the color will be darker, right? So okay, here's what we're gonna do. I think this color is good enough. Here you go, lots of water, okay? Coming from here, here you go. That's how you use. And looking through that, the mountain over here. And the shadow side of the mountain is fine. The shadow side of the mountain is darker than the sky. In that case, you feel free to wash into the shadow side and of the mountain, like this, like that. And on this side, I want the mountain over here a little bit lighter. In that case, don't wash into that area, right? That's all making sense. It's a simple thing. Okay. And is that dark enough? If that dark enough, keep it like that. You don't have to go with the reference 100%. It can be different, right? Oh, you say, I want it to be a little bit darker. Okay, all right. If you like, make a little bit more color into the mixture. You ready?
Yes.
Now the color darker.
What if you
Okay.
want it lighter?
A lighter, you have to wait until you dry it and then use the water wash it. On the side of the mountain, but it's not just blue. It actually have a little bit red color in it because it look like a little bit purplish or brown color, right? So it's easy. I just use the corner of the brush, just leave a little color, like this is perfect. So your brain keep thinking about that, oh, in that 3 color, how to mix that color. So you can mix the color really quickly. So I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, just get a little bit water, okay? That's it, like that. Ready? Now this color looks like that on the side over here. Again, you don't want to paint into the top of the house because that is supposed to be white. Just gonna keep it like that. And in the shadow side of the house, on this side, you can paint it into it. It's no problem because it's just darker, right? Like that. You can use the corner of the brush to paint like this. It's very easy. Now, okay, we can come back for some details later. And then when you use the big brush, you can use the side or use the corner. And you can paint it a little small shape like that. Piece of cake. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set a little base color on the snow over here because some area a little bit lighter, some area a little bit darker. So what's that color look like? A little bit kind of the gray blue color. So I'm gonna get a little red, right? And have a little yellow, and you just use the corner of the brush, and that is get a little blue. This is good. This is not a pure blue color. It looks like a little bit gray. So I don't need to be so dark. So I use the take a little water. Now I'm gonna be ready. Coming over here, coming through over here like this, and coming through over there, like that. And you know what? I'm gonna let go most of the color. I'm gonna have a little smoother, like this. So you can see the surface of the snow is kind of changing. And some a little bit lighter, some a little bit darker. That's good enough. Oh, actually very nice. And I'm gonna let go some of the water. So I'm gonna soften the area. So remember, if you have between 2 colors is light and dark, is really, really sharp edge. That is telling something is sudden change. But you don't want that impression. You don't want it to look like that. You want it smoother. How are you going to do? And you just use the water to soften it. So you can lift up a little color. See that is really soft. It's gone, right? But I'm going to keep that a little gap over there. A little big sudden change. That's just fine. Over here, maybe a little soften a little bit. So you can control how the color look. So this is good. Now I'm going to put this brush on the side. Then I'm going to start working into the mountain over here. And also thinking about how wet the color is. Like over here, some color over here now is accumulate on top over here. And you should just take away all the water you can with your finger like this. And then just lift up those wet. Otherwise, those wet would coming back to create the effect, this kind of texture. And if you don't want it, you just leave it up like that. That's good. Let's continue. And right now, we don't have really dark color. We only have the light and middle tone color. we're gonna take the blue color. I'm gonna take this blue color. Ready? I'm gonna make the shadow side of the mountain a little bit darker. Like that. Or maybe even darker. So let's take a look. But I don't want it to be just blue. I'm gonna take a little red color into it, like this. Ooh, looks good. Now I'm gonna leave it like that and coming over here. And look at the reference. If you see something good that you want to use, okay, like that. Coming down. And over here. And continue. But the mountain now, it changed it's a little bit curved over. So that means the color get a little bit warmer and a little bit lighter. So I'm going to get a little bit red color. Like that. And then here you go. Now the color get a little lighter coming up over here. So I'm going to get a little bit red color. So tap tap and have some texture and showing on top of the mountain. But I don't need that much details. So now up down here, I want to have some light blue color, some shadow on the snow, like that. That's fine. Like that in the background. Over here in the background on the ground, like that. Okay, so we have some darker color now. On the background over here, we want to have a little bit gray color, not bright blue color. So I just add a little red color into it, right? Now here you go. I'm gonna just add a little color over here, suggesting it's maybe a little bit more different than the sky. A little bit like this, maybe even a little bit yellow colors. This a little bit gray colors. Now here you go. Now I'm gonna add a little suggestions. You know, we're not building the mountains. That's not what we're doing. And here you go. And it will look like something over there. And what is it? Use our imagination. You can connect it. Okay, this is good. Now we're going to switch place. Remember, you also can paint into the shadow side of the house. But if you do it now, what is going to happen? This wet color next to it, it would going to merge together. If you don't want to merge together, wait until this dry and come back. So you can looking for something else that you can paint at the same time. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to paint the beautiful catch the shadow on the snow. So you know what? Just blue color. Look at the color over there. Okay, I'm going to look for it. Is that dark enough? And then dark enough right here. And then I'm going to see like this. And coming over here. That is the catch the shadow. Like that. And a little bit darker. Coming through like this. The catch the shadow on the snow. Like that. Maybe a little bit. It looks complicated, but in fact, it's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. You all know how to mix color. The rest is just pay attention to it. Now, on top of the roof, I also going to put some catch the shadow, but I don't want it to look like so steep, so straight. So I'm gonna have a little bit like that coming through over here. And on the side over here, we can, maybe a little bit too much. In that case, I'm gonna soften this and lift it up like that. It's fine, like this. I'm gonna have a little bit, that's fine. Look like catch the shadow. Okay, good. Now it's a little bit better over here, a little bit better over here. Now, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use this big brush. I'm gonna start making the trees. Are you ready for the tree? And I'm gonna mix some brown color. I'm gonna get a little red, get a little yellow. Okay, like this. Get a little blue. There you go. Get a little bit light brown color, purple color, like this. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be over here. Just use the side of the big brush. and maybe one is coming up a little more. It's really like a magic. You don't really know. Are you making trees? No, I'm not making tree. I'm suggesting tree. So the people is gonna think it's a brown color next to the house. Tell me what that's gonna be. It must be tree, right? Okay, over here too. I'm gonna making a little bit, maybe like that. Simple suggestion. Like that. Okay, now we're gonna looking at maybe have a little bit color over here. The sky already dried, so you can start putting some color, some thin colors for the tree, the tall tree, like this. And then when we draw the line coming down, it will look like it. Okay, that's good. Now this is almost dry, but we decided not going to wait. So we're gonna mix the brown color. Are you ready? The brown color. You know how to mix the brown color. Just a little red, little yellow. Okay, look at like that. We want to be darker, a little bit more, and get a little bit blue color. So otherwise, a little bit too warm. That's the side of the side over here. Ready? Now it look like this side. Oh, this side's darker than this side. But anyway, I'm gonna paint this color too, because it's going to be darker than the color on the light side. But after it dries, I'm gonna put a darker color on top of this on the shadow side. It would look like darker shadow. Okay, now I'm gonna use the same color over here. Tap a little bit and have a little bit line coming down like this and look like the tree. Like that. Okay, let's see. On this side, I'm gonna make the snowbank a little bit clear. So I'm gonna make a little darker color on this side, like this. Okay, and what we're gonna do over here, make a little softer, like this. Maybe a little bit too solid. But you know what? I want to have a little darker line in the middle. So you know what? I use the back of the brush. Are you ready? When you draw a line when the paper is still wet, it actually creates a darker line. That's fine. Okay, now on this side, now we're gonna make a darker color. Now get a little bit more red color, a little blue. Now, are you ready? On this side, I'm gonna use this hand to support it. Okay, now the tree coming down over here. Some really thin line on the side like this. Okay, a little bit darker line over here. Oh, we forgot that is on the snow. There actually is supposed to be some footprint. So I'm gonna just tap on it. Put some dot on it. And maybe some dark footprint over here too. The dog is following. Okay, that's good. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna paint it into a darker color for the shadow side. That's the darkest color. Now, I use the blue and the red color. These two colors together as a dark purple color. And also, it's the darkest color that we're gonna make. Okay, ready? Like this. Very dark. Like this. Okay. And in the middle over here, I'm gonna use the water to wash it, connect it. Okay. But over here now, I'm going to use this to create the illusion of the catch the shadow. Do you guys hear what I say? It's illusion. It's not really. You're not painting the house. It's just illusion. Catch the shadow like that. Now come to on this side. Now I'm going to let go most of the color. Now I'm going to just take this and merge into together so it's not just solid dark color. And that's the house. And maybe underneath over here have some catch the shadow. So I'm gonna make a little darker color over here. Now let's take a look at it. We already have a picture. But it may be some area we need to make it even a little more, like some detail over here. So get a little blue color over here, like here we go. And maybe a little some details over here, like that. And maybe a little detail over here, you know, that you can add to it. But you first focus on the big area, and then the small area come later. Okay. And make the catch the shadow maybe a little bit darker. That. And in the mountain in the back, I think I'm gonna make it a little bit more blue. So here we go. This is called overlay wash. You glaze over another color. So this is translucent watercolor. Translucent watercolor means every color that you put on the paper, the underneath color, the existing color, the past color is still going to show through. So, but however, more color you add to it, the areas become darker and darker. But how are you going to make it lighter? You're going to wash it off. Okay, now I'm going to make a little bit blue color and over here and make a little details like that and make that a little softer over here and like that. And here you go. And some suggestions going through over here like that, and a lot of blue color to see through the gap of the like this. Okay, see through a little bit, have some blue color in the background like that. Look at more like a thin layer of tree.